Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about a possible upcoming Elden Ring DLC in the works. So before we jump into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to help the channel grow. So first off, let me start by saying that Elden Ring came out in February 2022, and a lot of people are saying that this time of the year, now July, it could drop a DLC, or From Software could have a DLC coming at any time now, because they have in the previous games dropped a DLC for Dark Souls 2 within 4 months of its release. So now we're past that 4 months threshold, so to say, and some people are saying that this could be a good thing because the earliest that they released a DLC was 4 months after a release, which is Dark Souls 2, and as you can see in this list, for Bloodborne it was 8 months after its release where the first DLC came out. For Dark Souls 1 it was 13 months, and Dark Souls 3 it was 7 months. So now we are at that point that maybe they already had something in the works or something ready, and now that the hype has come down a little bit for Elden Ring, then maybe now it's a time to release a DLC to capitalize on those earnings and gains that they can get from having a DLC released. A lot of people are also saying that there are a lot of indications in the game that something might be coming, and we'll talk about today what are the things that the game have right now that might show that a DLC is already ready, or they're already thinking about it and might be coming soon. So the first thing we're going to talk about is actually the Divine Towers, and they call it the Divine Towers Mystery Cloud. So what is this? So this user, Dvorax, posted on the Elden Ring subreddit a few months ago this image right here, where it shows that all the Divine Towers, if you put a straight line between them, connecting all of them, then the middle point is actually not the Earth Tree, but it's this little cloud right here in the middle of the map between Lennydell and Caelid and Limgrave right there. But this area is not accessible, there's nothing there as far as we know. So people are thinking that this could be an area that would be uncovered with a DLC, and where there'll be new content, new enemies there. I think that if you think about this game, how long it took to develop and how well made it is, and you just have to think that no one would do this by accident. No one would just place randomly the Divine Towers on the map just for it to be coincidentally pointing towards this spot right here, where they by accident put a cloud and it's right in the middle of this sea or lake area right here. So I think this was made on purpose. I don't know what the end game is here. Maybe there's something else there. They might have a DLC trying to tell the story before the Elden Ring game takes place or after. We don't know. But I think this is too much of a coincidence for this to be like something that they did it on accident, and it's like now, oh my god, maybe we shouldn't have done that. So it would make sense for the middle point to be the Earth Tree. I mean, at least in my head it makes total sense. What I think it could be as well, if you go back and check our lore video, I'll link it, I'll put it in the card above and in the description down below. We talk about that before the Earth Tree there was another tree. So this could be or point to the location of this original tree that was in the lands between. This is a good way that they could tie the game to its origin story a little bit, or backstory, so you could go there, explore, and see what's going on. And it would make sense. To me, it makes sense to be that original tree, because if you go back to the video where we talk about the original tree, everything that was related to this tree today in the Elden Ring era is kind of like frowned upon. They're either locked away or they don't exist anymore. They were decimated. So I think this could be an area where they kind of put it in the middle of nowhere, and so that nothing would be influenced by it. So that's one of the things I think it could be, and to me it would actually fit really, really well into the whole lore thing and why it's there and why it's covered by clouds. So it's just an idea of what it could be. So the second point that people think or say that could be an indication to a DLC, it's actually Miquella, which is Malenia's little brother. So Mikula has this disease where they stay like a child. They don't grow up. They're like a child, and from what we see in the game, Mikula is not dead. Mikula, it's in a slumber, so it's kind of like asleep or in hibernation, so to say. And we see a little bit of that when we go to defeat or to battle Mog, the Lord of Blood, in the hidden area, that underground area that we can unlock in the game, and that's where also the best farming place is, the rune farming place is in the game. So right there, when you go in the first time and there's a little cutscene, you see Mikula's egg at the back on like a throne kind of thing. It's kind of like cracked open, and we can also see its arm peeking out of this egg. It's peeking a little bit. It's like kind of hanging out, and it could look like it's dead, but we don't know. We also have another NPC, Gideon Ofnir, also say that Mikula is still alive, and also say that all will be well with Mikula if it stay in hibernation, so to say. So Mikula actually was kidnapped by Mog in the Elden Ring lore, so that's why it makes sense to see Mikula here behind Mog's palace and inside Mog's palace, because that's supposedly still where Mikula is, and it's kind of like sleeping. And it also would make sense for Mikula in a possible DLC, let's say, to wake up and maybe figure out or find out that her sister is dead, if you have been able to defeat Malenia so far, and then have a whole other story around this part of the game, it would be quite cool. And for the third part, something else that a lot of people say is an indication that could be a DLC for the game is the Colosseum arenas that are present in the game. So there are currently 3 Colosseum arenas in the game, one in Caelid, one in Leyndell, and one in Limgrave, that you cannot enter, at least not with the regular game. If you're playing with a PC or with a mod, you can go through the door, and there is actually a lot of stuff inside these Colosseums. And here's a video from a YouTube channel called Sekiro Doobie. I'll link them in the description down below, and then they have a full walkthrough of these Colosseums and their take on what they could be. And as you can see, they're all well developed inside. It's not like something that was made just to look good on the outside, and once you enter this building there's nothing inside. There's seats, there's an arena, there's a bunch of stuff. And I think, or what a lot of people think, that this could be a possible PvP DLC, where those would be arenas where players go to fight each other for some sort of championship or some sort of reward in that kind of way. So I think also, like I said before, this would be too much of a coincidence for them to just develop a full building, and not just 1, 3, and place them around the map, and for those buildings to be just random buildings that they developed. Some people say that they could have developed this to be something else, but by the end of the game they decided to cut it out but left the buildings there. But to me, it just looks like something that has a lot of potential, because those are big buildings and they're in very prominent areas of the map where it's clear like those areas of the map were made for them, and now without them being able to do anything, they're just like kind of like old buildings that you cannot go in. So why not let you go in if you're not going to use them? That's what doesn't make sense to me. If they were not there for any purpose, then just don't have a door or anything, have a way to go inside. But they don't have that, or at least no one has found. Maybe this is a trick or a secret in the game that people will find eventually, hopefully, if that's the case. Another thing that I kind of looked at that I thought was really cool, let me put the image up, is this image of the same image that the Reddit user posted. And let's take a look at, if we connect the 3 Colosseum arenas, we also get that the center part of this triangle that it forms, it's also the cloud in the middle of the map. So I think this is a stretch a little bit, but this also could be another indication that this area in the middle of the map is important for some reason. There's something going on there that we don't know about, and then that might be an area where they could develop a DLC for. So From Software has also made a statement that they would like to expand the Elden Ring influence, so to say. It's not clear if that means a DLC. A lot of people think that means a DLC, but they said that it's just outside of a game. So that could be merch. They could be developing more lore, maybe comics, a story, a show. We don't know, but there could be a lot more they could do with that and capitalize on that Elden Ring hype that they created. So I think those are the main points right now, and I think we have a really good chance of seeing a good DLC being dropped in the next few months. I think it would make sense for them to drop a DLC at the end of the year. There are a lot of good games coming out at the end of the year, and it's a season where a lot of important games come out, a lot of AAA games come out, so it would make sense for Elden Ring to drop something at the end of the year. Maybe they're still working on DLC and improving whatever they already had ready, or maybe they're working from scratch. They had not planned, but they saw the success of the game and now they have to develop something new. So this is it. This is my take on why I think there's a DLC coming pretty soon. I can't say when exactly, but according to all the previous games that From Software has released and their DLCs, it could be that a new game is coming within the next, I don't know, 10 months, maybe even less. So that would be the beginning of next year, maybe February, March next year. By that time, we already have another DLC or a full DLC for Elden Ring. So let me know in the comments down below if you think there's going to be a DLC, what you would like to see in an Elden Ring DLC. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and I'll see you on the next one.